All right. Hey there, Sam with you here on a Friday, May 11th. We've done our polling amongst the members, and first up for review is LISK, LSK, LISK to Bitcoin. Now, this is an interesting project. It's worth a little read through if you're not familiar with what they're up to. There's a number of sites that offer you this kind of broad-based analysis of the whole crypto sphere. I like CoinGecko over here, and I look for coins with a score of 50 or higher. So it's 64 here. Market cap of $1 billion. This is a strong project here. We can see, this is particularly encouraging. The 86% score here amongst the development community. This is a development platform, so that's not surprising. You can see here all the trading is against Bitcoin, but we have a fairly good spread as to where it's trading. Binance has 30% of it, the bulk of that volume, so that we're going to look at it on Binance. Now, this is a little distorted here because we have the day that it hit Binance here, so we actually want that off the screen so we can get a better look in here. So despite this nice move that we had up here, and much like most of crypto, we peaked up at the end of last year, and now we've been in this long sustained downtrend, and it looked as though there was some effort here to get a new trend started. Looks to me as though that effort has failed. So if you just looking in here, so you can see what I've done. I've just wicked off the lowest low here, and then I'm working from this low. There's nothing here particularly technical about that low that's useful to us. This is, again, distorted here. So if I just swing low to swing high, all right, do anything there that helps me? We've broken the 786. We've broken it again here. So it's not terribly encouraging for bulls here looking at this, despite the fact that it's a good long-term project to consider. The timing for entry, with the methodology that I teach, there's nothing much here to grab onto. I mean, long-term, you want to keep it very simple. You look at it and say, well, we're in the bottom, 25% of the range of where this is traded. So this could be an area for some long-term accumulation. And you could make the case that we're just sitting, we're kind of stuck in this range here. And here's our upper range. And then we've established this, to some degree here. If I look left here, we've got this range down here. So is that enough to trade off of? Well, come down here and test the low end of the range. You're basically playing for a double bottom. That's not a trade that I would take unless I had a technical pivot down here. So I don't love what I'm seeing here first glance. And, there's so much to trade. It's a question of just, where do you want to allocate capital, right? Is this a pattern here that would warrant putting capital at risk? So at first glance, my thought would be no. Now I will dig in here now since I know members are interested in this project. So we look here and see if there's anything. I mean, does that look like a trending market? Certainly not to me. So again, just working off of this low, if I would want to check here. So the midpoint here seems to be, some significance here. So if I just grab it up here and go to my first high here, you see, well, that's kind of interesting, right? We go a tick or two into the golden zone. So there's algo activity, no question about it. That's clear evidence of algos right there. They hit their target, and then look at the reaction, just an absolute drop, just no interest in buying. So if you pulled all the way up to the top of it, as I just did on the larger degree when we were zoomed out a bit, let me get that right on there. Again, we were broke. It's just why pursue? Why try and force a trade in here? As I said, there's nothing really technical here to work with here. We get a very nice ABC here. So this is, the effort to establish a trend was there, and you can probably carve 5 out of this. But it certainly doesn't look like much of a motive wave to get us started. And the depth of this retracement, would have you think twice about going long in here. So what to do with it? Well, my first thought is next coin. Why force something in here? There's just nothing good enough as I look at it. Plus, since we've broken all of the support down here from an algo perspective, you're going to have to deal with the 50 and the 618 as you come back up. And you can look here and say, all right, well, here's this ridge of prior resistance here likely to come into play yet again. You know, can we get through all of that and get through the algo activity that will be there shorting that? So if we come back up here, they're going to be looking to sell it, trying to get that down, right? So can they get that, which would take us back down to that, to a double bottom, which is kind of interesting, right? So we see how that lines up here. So that will be the current play that algos will be working from as we've broken the 6.5 on the way down. So again, I go, you know, why force something in here? It's just not good enough. There's just too many choices. Even something like this, if I just pull this up here, we've broken this channel. We're likely to come back up and test the underside of that channel. Can we get through to the 50? Well, if we get a little higher up here, right, we're kind of coming into one standard deviation, as you can see it here. So in blue here, if I look at the volume profile, that's essentially, you think of this like a bell curve, that's one standard deviation. So all we're doing is coming back into market acceptance. If we reject out of that, they're going to have a fat target down here to take it back down for a double bottom. So if I was, you know, looking at this and wanted to put it on my radar, well, you know, I'd want to be alerted here when we get to the 50. Well, yeah, I'd like to know about that. Not necessarily as a short, but I want to see if there's algo participation there, and are they working towards that target. Now, if we got back down here, you know, then I might reconsider it. But still, you know, you're trying to buy the falling knife or here. You know, it's just, again, it's not good enough. So I'd be more inclined to say, well, if I were to get something like that, I'd want to see a motive wave come off of that low. And with that established, on the idea that I had some sort of a technical pivot here, I'd take the first retracement. So I let this play out wherever this is going. Now, if this doesn't happen and we get something like, and we break this and we start a trend and we get a motive wave, if I get a good clean 5, well, there's no reason that I couldn't just do the same thing up here if we get that. The next 50, we come down and take this off. So, you know, recognizing that I would want to wait. Why, you know, again, why force something here? Let the market reveal itself. If we get a motive wave coming out of this low down here for whatever reason, you know, enough selling, all this profit taking has resolved, then I would just wait. You know, do I get 5, and then do I get a nice 3 coming down to offer me a chance to get into that long side right in that sweet spot where we like it, between the 50 and the 618? Can we get that, with this being our first target here? Right. So it's just a process of you know, opportunity cost. Is this a place that you would want to park some Bitcoin? I mean, as I look at it, I'd say no, it's just not good enough. So again, I like the project. I just, in terms of the timing as a swing trader, there's nothing here to really sink my teeth into. All right, guys, I'll wrap it there, but I'll be back. We've got a little bit of catch up as I was out yesterday. So I'll be back with some other coins to look at shortly.